I have no idea exactly what genre I should put this movie under. Is it under mystery? Is it under romance? Is it under drama? Is it under suspense? I have no idea. See, usually movies need to be focused on one genre in order to gravitate towards. It can have other genres in between. I mean, there's no secret that movies can work off of other genres, but you need to have a main one in order to gain a main focus on what you want your audience to notice the most. And quite honestly, this movie was kind of all over the place when it comes to the genre department. Where the Crawdads Sing. So Where the Crawdads Sing is a new movie that just recently came out, and it's about a girl named Kaya. She lives out in the middle of this marshy area in North Carolina, and people would always call her the Marsh Girl because she's living out there. She's lived out there basically most of her life, ever since she was a 9-year-old girl, ever since her family had abandoned her and all such. So this is where the part of the movie really did get me interested. I mean, this is a 9-year-old girl alone in this house, growing up on her own, and we get to see how she got to live her life in conditions such as this. And I was really expecting to see a little bit more of that, but the problem is it doesn't exactly show so much about that. But anyway, as this movie starts off, and I just got to point out this little fact right here. When the opening credits is opening up, we are following around this crane, this bird that is flying over the marshes and everything, and that crane is CGI, and it is very noticeable. I mean, seriously, you can definitely tell that a computer made that crane. It's not an actual bird. But anyway, you find two kids. They discover a dead body. Immediately, I'm thinking "Stand by Me," just going through my head, and it's a man named Chase. And apparently, the evidence or so completely point to Kaya, and she has been arrested. Now she is on trial for the murder of this guy named Chase. And that's where she starts going into her backstory, where it all started. And I was thinking to myself, okay, we get to see how she grew up her entire life. We get to see what kind of person she becomes, and also we get to see what type of connection she has with this guy named Chase. And quite honestly, when we get to that point, that's another moment where it does get a little bit more interesting. I mean, this is the character who died in the very beginning, and now she's on trial for his murder. And quite honestly, yeah, I'm actually surprised that someone did not kill him a whole lot earlier. I mean, the dude is a complete sleazebag. Immediately, I'm just looking at this guy and I'm thinking, dude, you are more trouble than you are worth. I mean, seriously, this guy is like a player. He just goes out there, he hits on all the chicks and all such. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, Kaya, you have a problem trusting people. Why would you ever trust this guy? Like, ever. Well, because quite honestly, she also had another romance in this movie, this guy named Tate, and it is the basic take your girlfriend to a date type of scenes. I mean, when they film the romances between her and Tate, it's a lot more colorful, it's a lot more lovely. It's one of those Hallmark love stories that our mothers like to watch all the time. It's one of those. And when it comes to Chase, you don't exactly see any of that type of stuff. But another thing that this movie does have a problem with, and this is the thing I got to gripe about for most of my reviews, and that is the script. I mean, the script in this movie, when it comes to certain parts, if they're focused on it long enough, it does work. It does show some pluses when it comes to its filming technique. But when it transitions to everything else, it is just a mess. It is a complete mess. Because at one point, she's explaining the beginning of her story to her lawyer in a jail cell, and then they move on to the court trial, and then they move on with the rest of the story. And I'm like, oh, she's not narrating it anymore. She just told the first part, and now we're here, and we're just watching it. I mean, it's a little bit all over the place. And another thing that this movie really fails to do, and that I thought would be a whole lot more interesting, is that it could have boosted up the mystery with this court trial a little bit better. Like, for example, she's only has a couple of friends. Again, she is an outsider and nobody really likes her and all such. She has a couple of friends who care about her and take care of her. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if the movie would have shown a little bit more of them and shown a little bit more of their backstory and their connections with Chase, what if the movie starts making me think, oh, maybe she didn't do it? What if it's actually one of them in the background? Could it be her two friends who work at the gas station? Could it be Tate? Could it be her brother that shows up for one scene and then there he is in the courtroom scene? You'd think that they would have cleaned that up a little bit better. And another thing that I really did not get out of this movie is that she's known as the Marsh Girl. I mean, she is called names and there are rumors about her. They call her the missing link and all such, or so they say a couple of times during the courtroom scene, but I never really got to see that in the movie. I haven't really seen people like go near her house and whisper rumors to each other, and they don't exactly show people mistreating her and everything. No, they kind of treat her as a normal person. The only time when we ever hear that she is the Marsh Girl is during the courtroom scene, and I'm thinking to myself, where is any of this coming from? Yeah. And another thing I gotta say is that the acting itself, it's okay. I mean, the actor who plays Chase, he does a pretty good job in his role, even though it does look kind of like beginning actors style. He needs a little bit of work when it comes to acting. Like, the actor who plays Tate, it's pretty basic. The best actress in the entire movie, or the actor in the entire movie, I already spoiled it. It's the actress who plays Kaya. Kaya is an insanely shy girl. You could tell that she is shy. She's always hiding in bushes. She always has a worried look on her face. And whenever she is speaking to someone, but she is too nervous to talk to them, she is talking to them on the side, not even looking at their faces. But when she's more comfortable with them, she's making direct eye contact. And that takes a little bit of effort to show exactly how these characters are feeling. So I applaud the actress for the great acting and the reason why I'm still watching this movie. And another thing I gotta say is that when it comes to transitioning through time, a couple scenes they work, a couple of scenes they do not. I mean, there is one transition through time in this movie, and it is really messy, like insanely messy. Yeah, but anyway, where the Crawdads Sing, it's pretty good. It's pretty basic. It's one of those movies where you can take your wife or girlfriend out on a date, or if you want to hang out with family and just watch a simple movie. This movie is no harm in that fact. It may fail in a whole lot of couple other things, but there are some things in this movie that does make me want to watch a little bit more of it. So I will say this movie is worth watching at least once. So guys, where the Crawdads Sing. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Whatever you thought, comment below. And if you read the book, be sure to tell me about that, because I'm pretty sure the book explains a whole lot more of what is going on than what the movie is really presenting. The fact that they keep doing that between movies and books. But whatever you thought, comment it down below. Also, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share my videos as much as possible so I can finally get monetized and challenge other reviewers to do the exact same challenge. And I'll see you in the next video.